Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen monthly report highlighting the work done by various Cloud Imperium studios around the globe and their work on Star Citizen and its persistent universe. This is a summary of the official Cloud Imperium report dated the 12th of April 2019, and I will put links to it down below. Ships and weapon stuff. So they have completed the refactor of the 300i. Chris Smith, who was working on the 300, has now officially moved on to a new ship, which is currently in the white box. We will see the variants of the 300 series in a 3.5.x patch in the near future. The Origin 890 jump has just completed the grey box stage and is now heading into its final art phase. Work is progressing on the Carrack, which now has the whole of the engineering section in the rear done to grey box, and the habitation deck is only missing the captain's quarters to be grey box complete. The Vanguard series is heading into its final art stage for its rework, the rear section and cockpit both receiving a pass. The exterior is up next. Grey box of the Banu Defender continues. They've also been working on the foundation of the Tavaran species that we'll have in-game at some point to help build and design the Asperia Prowler, which is obviously one of their ships remade in the Asperia brand. Pre-production began on the P-52 Merlin update and the P-72 Archimedes, and obviously the Asperia Prowler as well. Improvements to gimbaled weapons were finished for Alpha 3.5, and the radar and scanning systems received a polish, including the implementation of focus angle and ping fire. Under the hood, progress was also made with the vehicle item port tech and migration to Dataforge. The weapons guys worked on the Apocalypse Arms missile launcher, which is a handheld missile launcher. Well, I say handheld, shoulder mounted. It'll be like the railgun. The Klaus & Werner Lumin SMG, and new upgrade levels for various ship weapons. Gameplay-wise, they have completed tasks to improve both the Emergency Communication Network, the ECN, and NPC spoofing missions, where NPCs would send out service beacons asking for help, which has seen the old ECN missions phase out into the new system. Regarding the in-game economy, a system built to create a robust and modular representation of item variants was polished and is now ready when needed. Inventories were also updated to all of the new locations, including the new Alpha 3.5 weapons and items. The narrative and design teams worked together to identify the production nodes and manufacturing locations of all of Star Citizen's corporations for the expanding economy system. This led to a review of the item inventories of Stanton's shops to make sure stores were carrying items appropriate to their location. They've made progress with the area map feature as well, including the ability to visually distinguish between different floors of an interior when using that new 3D map system. Voice servers received an upgrade which will benefit the RTCP data channel, improvements, and enable active speaker detection in the comms channels too. Let's have a look at some AI and character stuff, and the reason I've sort of splodged those updates together is because it's hard to separate them, because NPCs, AI, characters, animations are all they sort of come in a parcel together. You'll see what I mean. Character AI wise, so they've had general improvements and now can assign combat behaviors and different tactics to each character and NPC. NPC locomotion saw the integration of collision avoidance systems into smooth locomotion, which now takes into consideration the edge of walkable navigation areas. Ship AI implemented new pilot skill levels to vary the agility of enemy ships and determine how they balance self-preservation and aggression. Improvements were also made to how non-player traffic behaves around landing zones. They finished their first pass of scooching. Scooching enables a character to fluidly move from one action to another within a group of usables without hitching and weird things happening. They've made improvements to and finalized their work on the unification of the vendor and bartender AI, which will allow the same behavior to serve drinks at a bar and give players items from a shelf and weapons from a rack, all that sort of jazz. Optimization has started on usables as well in general. Various teams have been working on Alpha 3.5's facial customizer and obviously adding the female playable character into game and creating new armors wearable by both sexes, which will continue into the foreseeable future as well. They have also worked on the next user interface for the character customizer version 2 for 3.6. While the current version gives users all the required functionality, the process can be thoroughly streamlined through a number of layout and functionality amends. So these changes have been prototyped and are awaiting implementation now. Tasks towards extending the character creation DNA gene pool were also completed, which will eventually increase the number of heads the users can use and choose and then blend together. While still being significantly fewer than the planned final amount, the enhanced pool will give the players much greater variety compared to the 9 heads per male and female available currently in 3.5. They've been getting the mission giver Twitch Pacheco ready for Alpha 3.5, finishing the animation sets for Rico Battaglia as well, and the ship dealers that they're going to have. Pacheco's hair was tidied up before the launch, and a few non-Alpha 3.5 related hours were spent refining the hair creation pipeline. They implemented new female emotes and brought the male versions up to the current quality standard. They have also been developing the final jump system and the female playable characters, as well as the combat AI systems, adding new weapons options for enemies to use, things like that, and they further improved the ship entry and exit animations too. In regard to environment stuff, there have been loads of quality of life improvements, bug fixing and polishing of assets made for 3.5, lots of changes that have probably gone unnoticed, but if you compared Lorville from 3.5 to 3.4, you would see major changes there. And I suspect that we will see some of that once 3.5 goes live with a variety of people's videos. Several locations, including Hurst and Lorville, were refined and tweaked to give an overall improved visual experience. Planet Tech continues to be updated, and we will see these updates finished later this year, but we're also going to see ways that they scale natural features like canyons better too. Planet ArcCorp is content complete. The final touches were added to ArcCorp with Area 18's Riker Spaceport, and the surrounding city has received its final textures, materials, and finishing touches. The last stages of development saw countless optimization tasks completed to make it good enough for players to explore. The final level of detail tweaks were completed to enable the assets to perform well in Engine, along with other technical aspects like tweaking view distance ratios, altering vis areas, and merging meshes. I'm assuming they also tweaked to like portal culling and stuff like that for performance. Planning began for the upcoming procedural tool and next set of procedural space stations. Prototyping was done on cave layouts, and potential gameplay was sort of like planned with cooperation from the environment art team. There were also updates to Lorville with the addition of small and medium hangars and a new transit line between Tisa Spaceport and the central business district. After lessons were learned during the development of Lorville, the lighting team were also able to optimize Area 18's lighting far more efficiently. Alpha 3.5 will provide a first look at the new Banu language as well that's being developed, so keep an eye out for more info on that. And we do know that we're getting the Tachyon Singe cannons as well for 3.5, which is a Banu weapon. Props for Area 18 are having a polish pass. The area's food carts have dressing and prop variation as well now. Updates were made to older street furniture, and there's been work with the branding and signage assets used throughout the area. Persistent habs are included in 3.5, so they converted a whole host of props from static objects to interactive entities, while hand grip was set up to work with player animations and additional physics set up too. I am sure people will be gathering turtles or tortoises, whatever the hell is around Area 18, and putting in their habs and seeing if they stay there or not. The system design team finalised the current iteration of the no-fly zones around Area 18 and ArcCorp, which required new features to be added to allow it to work at the scale required. Walla and Lyria both received their share of mining resources, with Walla getting unique Atacamite, I think it's pronounced Atacamite. They are the geode deposits there. Some backend and server stuff. Progress was made on the General Instance Manager rewrite, with the new matchmaker successfully tested internally as well. This is now a sort of like highly fault-tolerant individual service that can be scaled up as the project develops now. Another major change was the introduction of the variable service, which came with a surprisingly high volume and rate of data. The first major part of the iCache has been completed and tested. The iCache is a highly distributed and fault-tolerant storage query engine that greatly outperforms their current Pcache that they use. It provides an indexing and query system that can be utilized by other services for specific and complex item queries. This system is important going forward, particularly as the persistent universe sees greater volumes of players, and server meshing coming online will require it, it seems. Rendering-wise, they continued to work on temporal sample anti-aliasing, TSAA, with general quality improvements that translate into less flickering and sharper images on screen. Lots of hair tech is coming online, improvements with the physically based rendering stuff, among other updates, are helping with that. Planetary ground fog, currently scheduled for Alpha 3.6, has seen many refinements and improvements too. They are also completing rendering support for CPU accessible textures for the render to texture video comms calls, and they've optimized shaders with that as well. We should see better load times and better use of hard and solid state drives with that. Work also began on a physics debugger that will allow the team to record issues, play them back, freeze time, and this will help them understand and speed up fixing complex physics-based issues. Effort has been made on sort of like aligning the sun and shadows better with fog in large spaces, such as hangars, and they fixed a persistent glitch with indoor lighting, which lots of people will be happy about. For vidcoms and general render to texture stuff, they fixed loads and loads of issues that were interfering with brightness. They also switched most holographic scenes over to a forward shader render pipeline to improve efficiency. In regard to the gas cloud tech that people are very excited about, they've been adding the ability to rotate tunnel pieces and create more intelligent streaming systems to enable them to lay out large sections of these sort of like areas of interest within the game without running over memory budget. VFX rolled out their new GPU particle lighting changes as well, which includes a new optional specular shading model for particles and better lighting of effects. They are also updating various older game effects like the EMPs too, and they've got some good results from that. And that's it for the highlights and summary of this month's Star Citizen Monthly Report. If you've got any questions, comments, or want to talk about anything Star Citizen related, please chuck them in the comments below. Every month, we have a giveaway for a Star Citizen ship. For April 2019, we are giving away a Drake Corsair with lifetime insurance. It's the new concept ship focused on exploration, and the loaner for that ship is currently the Constellation Aquila and the Buccaneer. To be in for a chance of winning, be subscribed to my channel and comment on any video that I put out during April. Full details in the description below. Need a PC or upgrade to play Star Citizen? Consider Shadow. Shadow is a cloud-based subscription alternative to a gaming PC, and it works with Star Citizen Alpha 3.5 better than it ever has. It leverages the power of the internet to give you a Windows 10 gaming environment potentially anywhere. Check out the links below or go to shadow.tech for more information. Use the code BoredGamer to receive a discount on your subscription if you do decide to try it. I'm not sponsored or paid by Cloud Imperium in any way. This is a Star Citizen news and fan channel that is supported by you, the community. Patrons, donations, subscriber stars, YouTube members, that little join button underneath my videos, all help support the channel and allow me to create regular video content, maintain a website, upload podcasts, and more. If you wish to go that extra mile, it is amazingly helpful. There is occasional exclusive content for those that do as well.